everybody, Lawman Mike with www.lawmanguitars.com. Wow, have I got an old guitar for you today. This guitar is actually older than me. I know, I'm really old. But anyway, this is a 1951 CF 100CE. Now, what does all that mean? Well, back in 1951, Gibson decided to make a cutaway guitar that they could use either electric or not electric. So the CF 100C was the cutaway. I think they actually made a CF 100 without a cutaway. And then the E means it's electric. So look at what we've got here. This is a 1951 P90 pickup in this guitar. Now this was the very first guitar that Gibson started putting pickups in. It was kind of in response to the country western guys. All they could do is stand in front of a mic and strum away, and they were really demanding something that they could have electrified, and this was their answer to that. So this is, they made these from 1951 to 1959, I believe. This is one of the very first ones that came out of the factory, and I'll tell you what, it's really cool. Now, I want to tell you right up front, this is no bathing beauty here. This guitar has been around, and let me tell you a little bit about it. This little guitar, when I got it, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it because it needed so much. But it was obvious to me that this guitar had been played a lot. I found out some history on it. It was owned by a couple here in Des Moines, Iowa, that were a country western duo that did a lot of bars and Lions clubs and all that sort of stuff. And they played the heck out of this guitar. And you can tell from the neck wear on the back of the neck, there's just no finish left on there. It's just as smooth as a baby's bottom back there from so much play. And when I got it, it had some back cracks, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But the worst thing was the top had collapsed. It had gotten so dry that the braces had released. I was happy to hear that that was all it was. When Jeff the tech got a hold of it, he went to work and he raised the top back up, reglued the braces inside the guitar, and lo and behold, the guitar didn't even need a neck reset. I was just thrilled. I mean, you couldn't even play the guitar when I got it because everything had collapsed in and the strings were like this high off the neck. So anyway, it's got a great neck angle on it. He tightened up and made sure all the braces were reglued and in great shape. There was some cracks in the back, which he glued and cleated. The finish has been worn off the back where it's probably been sweated on, I don't know how many times. Just where it attaches to the body up in the front is not so bad. Sides, you've got some finish missing, and it's just an incredible guitar when you think about how many times this guitar was played professionally. It's just, I couldn't wait to get my hands on it. And Jeff the tech did an absolutely beautiful job on this guitar. It plays great, and we cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned and cleaned to get this guitar original finish back to what we were able to get. So some areas, like I said, have been worn off. Some areas look great. It's got the original single line Kluson tuners on it. As we spoke about, the pickup is a P90 without a cover on it, of course. They just brought it through the body. We'll see some pictures of that here in just a minute. It had the original pick guard, which I was really happy about. A couple of the edges were up on it. We were able to get those re-glued down and in great shape. It has the original bridge pins. I couldn't believe it. The original bridge pins on this, they all match and they are super old. Jeff checked out the electronics. We didn't change anything. We didn't have to change anything. Just cleaned up the pots and they work just fine. Now, I did do one other thing that I wanted to point out. If you're looking at the knobs now, you probably notice those are not Gibson knobs. What they would have had is the big, tall, either gold or clear knobs of heavy plastic. You can still get them, old ones too. What I was really afraid to do, quite frankly, was push so hard on the knob to get it on there, because I had one. I was going to try to put it on, and you had to push so hard. I was really afraid of breaking something loose. What I did is I put the old Harmony cupcake knobs, try to say that 3 times fast, on it. It has set screws, so I just loosened them, slipped them right on, tightened them up. They look really nice on the guitar, and they work, of course, very, very well. The new owner can decide if he wants to put the Gibson knobs back on it. I want to point out, too, there was one crack. I can't remember if we had to fix it or if it was already fixed. There's, which is always in this area, these flat top guitars. Crack here, I had Jeff check it out, make sure it was cleated and everything works properly. It's got the original truss rod cover The finish on the headstock is just, you know, it's bubbled a little bit. It's discolored in part of it. Again, I didn't want to wipe years of patina off this guitar, so I didn't scrub it, but by all means I cleaned and cleaned and cleaned it, and left as much character on this guitar as I possibly could. So enough how it looks, but my goodness, this guitar is just so much fun to play. And I gotta say, you don't just have to play it up in the top cowboy chord area. This guitar plays. Sorry, I could do this all day. So the guitar sounds really good plugged in, but I got to tell you, it sounds really fantastic acoustic as well. So for a small body guitar with a cutaway, I got to tell you, it booms really, really nicely. So you can play the guitar acoustic, you can play it plugged in. It's a very, very versatile guitar. And with the cutaway, my goodness, you can play this guitar all the way up the neck if you would be so inclined. It's just a very, very versatile guitar. Now, when I got the guitar, it did not have a case, as I recall. However, I have for you, with this guitar, a really nice vintage correct, which means this would be correct for a 50s or 60s, very early 60s Gibson case. Now, the Gibson case had the fake alligator look to it. It had the brown edging to it. It had the little leather hinge here and the two metal hinges. All those are there and working. All the latches work, and they're here. Even the original handle, which those are always missing. I can't tell you how many of these things I've replaced with reproductions. This is the original handle on it. It's made of plastic, and unless you take it out in the cold and hit it really hard, it's going to last forever. It's got the green felt interior in it. I had to glue a few places just to get it to hold together. You can see some of those areas here. But this case, if properly taken care of, will last a really long time. It's even got the accessory box. I had to put a little piece of leather on there to hold it all together, but it's there, which is very, very important for this guitar. It's got a little bit of deterioration in the end, but I'll tell you what, for a 50s case, this thing is in really, really great shape. And I'll tell you what, it fits the guitar great, and it looks like it belongs in this case. So I'm really happy I saved this case for this guitar. So you get this awesome case, which would be at least $300 to $350 on eBay if you were going to go out and try to buy a case for your guitar, this guitar. And the fantastic 1951 CF100 CE guitar that is just oozing cool. And you can get it all for one price. So check us out at www.lawmanguitars.com. This guitar is featured in our reverb.com store also. Go to reverb.com. I love those people. They're really, really great to me, as well as all my customers. Put in Lawman Guitars when you get there, and all my guitars will come up. Check them all out. They're all cool. I guarantee it. Thanks for watching today.